You know, I really am a grateful young man. My name is Lafayette Beck, man, your favorite deacon. Televising this or taping this from my home. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. A lot of times when I say that, people, first thing they think about is Ferguson. Well, it's a suburb of St. Louis. I don't actually live in Ferguson. It's probably 2-3 miles, what is that, west of me, where I am right now. But we call it all St. Louis, same thing. Everybody remember Ferguson a few years ago after the killing of a teenager that was unarmed, Mike Brown, by Darren Wilson, who was a police from Ferguson. Yeah, who our courts refused to indict for murder. The prosecuting attorney at that time, McCullough, chose not to prosecute, and it cost him his job. He had been prosecuting attorney in St. Louis County for, man, what, 20 years? But that cost him his job. The people told him that they would do it, and they did. They voted him out. Wesley Bell is now the county prosecutor, doing a pretty good job at it. I think his name ain't in the news, so right on for you. They have a new prosecuting attorney in the city, by the way, Miss Gardner. I think his name is Kim Gardner. She's also an African-American young lady that's doing her job, doing it well. She's not prosecuting petty cases. She already let it be known. And I think she has difficulty right now with police because of the way she's performing. Well, we got another day, you guys. Grace and mercy. Another day of being clean, sober, serene. I have the grace of God and His mercy and favor upon me. I have a little bit over 25 years clean and sober. Don't give me the praise, please. I mean, everybody likes to be patted on the back, but I've gotten that already. And God gets the glory, not me, because if it wasn't for God, I couldn't be doing this, man. Man, I ain't want to do what I'm doing. I just, listen, I thought I had a plan. When I got clean, I thought I had a plan. But God had the plan. Yeah, He did. I just thought He'd take it away and that'll be it. But oh no, how many of you know that work come with favor? You know, the word of God says, no work, no eat. I didn't think I'd be doing all this work 25 years later. Been a deacon for 22 years, you guys. Me. Come off the streets of St. Louis, west side of the city, drug infested, prison going, jailbird, junkie. Look at me now. This is a good picture of Grace and Mercy, the twins. Man, when God works, man, he awesome, man. And here is the thing, guys. You never know who He gonna use. You never know who He's gonna use and what He's gonna use them for. And I'm just being real with you as I can be. God, man, He chooses. Listen, I used to have a sign in my office where I used to work. I had been watching TV one night and a guy made a comment and it just stuck to my heart. And the next day I went to work. I wrote it down. And I hung it on my wall for about 7 years. And it said, it fit me, I thought, very well. And it said, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. God doesn't call the qualified, but he qualifies the ones that he called. So if God has called you, that qualified you. Man, I got a GED in the penitentiary in 1985. When I went into treatment in 1994, things started happening for me, man. Things started happening. Not only was I getting clean, man, I was reading the Bible like never before. So the Spirit, God had put His Spirit in me. And one night I was in the program, 13-month long program. We were sitting around, you know how you do, man. You sit around, you be singing with each other. And there was 3 of us, we sit around every evening, we mess around singing gospel. Gospel. And I had been in the program about 3 months. And I always ask God for His Spirit. God, give me your Spirit. And on this particular evening, we were singing and we all went in. We got happy. And I couldn't open, when I opened my mouth, nothing would come out. And I was praising God, but nothing was coming out. And I was scared because I didn't know what was happening with me. Why nothing coming out? And the young man that was with me, by the way, he was a preacher, Ted, said to me, meet the Holy Ghost. You just met him. And I said, what? He said, you just met the Holy Ghost. That's what you've been asking God for? Well, you got him now. And after that, I wasn't the same no more, man. Started having reactions started happening in my life. Guys, I went from being in the program to, it's not nothing new. I got hired in the program. And I was doing the program and working at the same time, which that was cool, man, making a few dollars. And I was putting it in savings, right? And I'm just gonna give you bits of this one because we're gonna save some for another time. But I was saving my money, and when my director of the program at that time, Mr. Hayes, he knew that I had found the love of my life. I'll never forget it. I had completed the program, and I went and drew my money out, and he wanted to know what was I getting ready to do. Of course, he wanted to know. And I said, I'm going to buy me a car. I need to be getting around now. This bus thing ain't working for me. And he said, he told his friend, my friend, Thurman, he said, take him, find him a car and bring him back. I didn't know what that meant. So we got the car, found me a Cutlass, fell in love with it, man. This was in 95. Brought it back to the mission, and Mr. Hayes looked at it and gave me some money and said, how much your license plate and your sales tax and everything? And I said, oh, well, it's so-and-so, so-and-so. He went in his pocket and gave me three $100 bills and said that was my graduation present. So I had found favor in the director. I had finished the program. I was working for him, and I had been promoted as a supervisor over the program. It was called Sunshine Mission. It was a homeless shelter that had 41 beds for the homeless to sleep every night. They had another building that housed the 13-month program. At that time, it was 17 of us, man. And we had alumni program, other things going on. And Mr. Hayes was gradually putting me in charge of everything. And I'm the one that had to ask for a job. He was giving other people jobs ahead of me, and they kept relapping. And so finally, he didn't have no choice, because I used to ask him to give me a job, and he wouldn't do it. But then I knew why he wasn't giving me a job, because it wasn't time. God was doing some things in me. And when he finally did give me a job, he put me over everything. Man, let me tell you what everything means. Everything means I was in charge of the shelter. I was in charge of the 13-man program. I was in charge of the alumni. I was in charge of the graduate program. I was in charge of 8 men that worked the shelter. I was in charge of 5 people that were on staff. So nobody was higher than me than Jerry Hayes. You come on, guys. You ever heard that before, that story? No one was over me but Jerry Hayes. That kind of sound like Joseph. Nobody's over him but Potiphar. Then nobody's over him except Pharaoh. So it kind of sounded like that. And man, did favor fall upon me. Favor fell upon me, man. Bishop picked me to be a deacon. My life just started rolling, man. I got my wife, my 2 girls, and ooh, man, 25 years clean, 22 years and a half married. I'm happy. Things going pretty good. Health a little bit bad, but what the heck? It was worse than this when I was getting high. But God's mercy and his favor has fallen upon me. Don't you dare think that you can't do it. Yes, you can, man. Put that thing down. You don't need that needle. I still use a needle, but this time I use it for my health. I'm a diabetic. I take insulin. But that's the only way and reason I'm using them. Put them needles down. Don't shoot that stuff in your arm. You don't know what's in them pills. Man, people ODing every day. Every day. All day. But look what I got. I carried Narcan around with me in case I run up on somebody that OD. And I can help them. That's what I am, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a helper. I'm an encourager. I'm a mentor. I do a lot of inspirational speaking. I lead people. I work with the homeless. I'm always around people with addictions, trying to persuade them. I'm at the VA 4 times a week at least, talking to the vets because I'm a vet, trying to get them on the right track, man. They love me. I love them back. Got on my high school reunion cap. Soledad High in St. Louis. Yeah, the best from the West. We had our reunion a couple weeks ago, man. I'm a proud guy. Even though I didn't finish, I went to Sodan 2-3 years and got my GED with Sodan on it. Yeah, that's my school. But what I'm trying to say, you can do it, man. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. I don't care if you've been to treatment 199 times, man. Go again if that's what you need. Go get you some help, man. And now I'm going to say this to you guys. I'm going to close. Some people might attack me for this, but I'm going to tell you what worked for me. I had a boy and girl habit, which means heroin and cocaine. I needed both of them. You know, I needed to be up and down, up and down. We call it speedball. All right? When I surrendered to God and I went into treatment, I'll tell you that story one day. I tried it for a day with nothing, just cold turkey. When staff got there the next day, I ran to the counter and told the nurse, I said, hey, I can't do this. I need some methadone. And she said, you sure? I said, I'm positive. She said, let me speak to the doctor. And she gave me some methadone. And I took the methadone for 5 days. And after 5 days, man, I didn't have no detox effects from the drug, no kickbacks, no nothing. The methadone had did what it needed to do for me. It worked, man, and the rest was smooth sailing. Once I got over the sicknesses, smooth sailing, man. So if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. I just don't recommend that you stay on it. Use it, man, for detox and then get off. Same for Suboxone. Use it to get off, not to stay. That medicine, man, you don't need to be maintained. Don't go for it. Don't go for that. Excuse my mouth. You don't need to be maintained. Okay? So with that, if you got any questions, go to my Facebook page, Lafayette Favorite Deacon. You can go, if you got any kind of dealings with addictions, you can go to my group that I have. It's called Addiction Overcomers. And help me to help other people that have addictions. You know, man, we on there, man. We celebrating clean time, man. We encouraging people, man. We sitting up at night when people need someone to talk to. We trying to direct them. People all over the country, man. It's on this page with me, helping me. It's a new page. So it's called Addiction Overcomers. And until the next time, God bless you and keep you. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and to know the difference. I'm tripping, man. Don't pay me too much attention, man. That dude got me laughing. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom to change the things that I can, and the courage to know the difference. I'll see you guys later. Man, get out of my house.